is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.
Sorry. They've set the tone, haven't they? Welcome to all, whether you are here for the first time or been here many times before. And whether you are joining us here in the sanctuary or out there remotely via Zoom or watching the recording later, it is good to connect with you. I'm Paula Olson, a member of the Welcome Team. Today, the children will be with us in the sanctuary to hear a story before heading to their activities of the morning. The family room just to the left at the back of the sanctuary, with audio of the service piped in, is open for parents and children. Care is also available in the nursery on the lower level for infants and children through age 5. By greeting our virtual neighbors, we build a bridge between our online and in-person participants. So first, we will project on the screen the image of folks who are currently on Zoom. And we would ask you to show yourselves and give them a wave. Now we invite you who are gathered in person to turn to face the camera at the back of the sanctuary and give the folks out there a wave. If you are here today in person, we invite you to join us after the service for coffee and conversation in Hodis Hall, which is located to the left after you exit the sanctuary. And our newcomer table is a place where visitors and newcomers can meet and chat with members of the congregation and with each other. And I do know we have some visitors today. All are encouraged to drop by. Just look, there's a colorful sign on the table. If you are with us on Zoom, we invite you to stay on the call for a virtual coffee hour immediately after the service ends. Remember, whenever and however we connect with BUC, we are building this beloved community.
As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home, here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other.
I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing Lean on Me, hymn number 1021 in the Teal Hymnal.
Always understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
From the fragmented world of our everyday lives, we gather together in search of wholeness. By many cares and preoccupations, by diverse and selfish aims, are we separated from one another and divided within ourselves. Yet we know that no branch is utterly severed from the tree of life that sustains us all. We cherish our oneness with those around us and the countless generations that have gone before us. We would hold fast to all of good we inherit, even as we would leave behind the outworn and the false. We would escape from bondage to the ideas of our own day and from the delusions of our own fancy. Let us labor in hope for the dawning of a new day without hatred, violence, and injustice. Let us nurture the growth in our own lives of the love that has shone in the lives of the greatest of people, the rays of whose lamps still illumine our way. In this spirit we gather, in this spirit we pray.
Our story for today is called The Someone New. It's written by Jill Twiss and illustrated by E.G. Keller. Now bear with me. I'm going to attempt to do some voices for the characters. When Jitterbug woke up, she could already tell something was new. Jitterbug was a careful chipmunk. She liked it when things stayed the same. When something was new, yes, Jitterbug, she got a little quiver in her tummy when something was new. What is this something new, she wondered. Is it Toast the butterfly? No, she's flitting from flower to flower, sharing her important thoughts like every other day. Hello, 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 shouted Jitterbug. Hello, Jitterbug, said Toast. Did you know that a group of butterflies is called a kaleidoscope? Whoa, that was good information. But it was not the something new. Jitterbug kept looking. Is it Geezer the goose? Or Duffles and Nudge the otters? She wondered. No, they're splashing in the river just like always. Hello, 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 shouted Jitterbug. Honk, 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 said Geezer, who sounded grouchy even when he wasn't. G'day to you, Jitterbug, said Duffles. Did you hear the thunderstorm last night? It just, said Nudge. Missed our forest, said Duffles. Whoa, that was good information. But Duffles and Nudge were best friends. They always finished each other's thoughts. That was not the something new. Then Jitterbug saw something she had never seen before. It was both hard and soft. It was both round and even more round. It was something new. No, wait. It was someone new. And that someone new was moving toward them very slowly. Hello, 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 Jitterbug said nervously. Jitterbug's tummy was doing some pretty big-time tummy quivers. Hello, said the someone. My name is Pudding. Hello, Pudding, said Toast. Did you know that butterflies taste with their feet? Hello, and how do you do, said Nudge. Excuse us for asking, said Duffles. But what exactly are you? Whispered Nudge. After a long pause, Pudding said, I am a snail. I am from the garden over the hill. Whoa, that was good information. Jitterbug had never seen a snail before. A snail was definitely someone new. "Why'd you leave your garden and come here?" asked Jitterbug. Pudding did not have an answer right away. If there was one thing that Jitterbug had learned about snails, and so far there was only one thing that Jitterbug had learned about snails, it was that they answered questions very slowly. Pudding took a breath. "Last night, there was a big storm, and my garden flooded. Everything around me washed away, and I was left all alone. I squished all the way here to be safe. I want to stay here." "With us?" said Jitterbug cautiously. "In our forest?" Pudding nodded. But, said Jitterbug, thinking aloud, "what if there are not enough acorns for all of us? What if everyone decides that squishy snails like Pudding are nicer than furry chipmunks like me? What if everything is different?" Jitterbug's tummy quivers were turning into tummy cartwheels. Pudding had just opened his mouth to answer when, "Pudding, I'm very sorry, but you cannot stay here," Jitterbug blurted out. Pudding looked at Jitterbug, looked back toward his old garden, and then quietly began to squish back the way he'd come. Everything was going to stay the same. Jitterbug's tummy relaxed until she looked up at her friends. What? Said Jitterbug. "Did you know that I was new once?" spluttered Toast. "I used to be a caterpillar." "Honk, honk, honk, and I was also new once," said Geezer. "I used to live in a beautiful lake. Then people started to fill it with garbage until it wasn't safe for me anymore. That's when I came here." "You were both new?" said Jitterbug. "It feels like you've always been beside me, honking your honks and flitting around our flowers." "That's how friends feel," said Duffles. "Even when they're new, friends feel like you've known them forever," said Nudge. "But new can be scary," said Jitterbug. "Jitterbug, do you remember when Toast wanted to see her reflection, so she flew very close to the river?" asked Geezer. "Oh, yes," said Jitterbug. "Toast flew so close to the river that pretty soon she had flown into the river." "No one else was around," said Nudge. "And you had always been scared of swimming," said Duffles. "But even when you were frightened, said Geezer, "you jumped right into the water and saved Toast. Because even though new can be scary, kindness is stronger than fear." Whoa, that was very good information. "I have to go get Pudding," yelped Jitterbug. Jitterbug ran as fast as she could, and when she thought she had looked everywhere, she found Pudding right around the corner. If there's one thing that Jitterbug had learned about snails, and there was still only one thing that Jitterbug had learned about snails, it was that they ran away very slowly. "Pudding," said Jitterbug, "I was wrong. Please, come live with us. I was scared because you're new, but then I realized how scared you must be in a place where everyone is new. You were so brave to come here. Let's be scared together." "Thank you, Jitterbug. I will miss my old home, but now I can make a new one with all of you." And Pudding stayed, because kindness is stronger than fear. And sometimes it takes very special friends to be brave enough to tell you you were wrong. Pretty soon it felt like Pudding had been there forever. Now, there were many things Jitterbug knew about snails. She knew that they were strong and brave and smart and kind. But if there was one thing that Jitterbug knew about snails, it was that they are very good friends. At this time, we'll have all of our children and youth join us out in the pavilion as we get ready to head off to our classes.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be, for you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
The mission of Birmingham Unitarian Church is to be a free and welcoming religious community that encourages lives of integrity, learning, service, and joy. One way we live out this mission is by giving half of our weekly offering to a nonprofit organization that shares our values and addresses needs in the community. To suggest a nonprofit for this donation, please check the BUC website under Justice to find the application form. Our recipient today through the end of September is one of our cherished community projects, support of Walt Whitman Elementary School in Pontiac. Since 1998, BUC volunteers have fostered learning for kindergarten through 5th grade students by stocking and operating a mobile library in the school, known to students as the Book Trolley. We also do some tutoring to conduct other programs to help students learn and feel supported by their community. Your offering will be used to buy books for the mobile library, supplies for our programs, and occasional necessities for the students. This service is provided under the banner of Communities United for Children. Thank you for your continuing support of this program. The ushers will now receive this morning's offering, given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude. This offering is dedicated to the good work of the Walt Whitman School Project and of this congregation.
We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted. We need one another when we are in trouble and afraid. We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another when we would accomplish some great purpose and cannot do it alone. We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share our triumphs. We need one another in the hour of defeat when with encouragement we might endure and stand again. We need one another when we come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. We hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows. The joys and sorrows of the congregation that are shared with us this morning are these. Sarah Constantegas had successful surgery on Friday, and we look forward to her return from medical leave when she is ready. We remember those experiencing losses and those facing health challenges. We pray, in whatever way we pray, for all those affected by war, by hatred and violence. We pray for peace. The cares of the world are many. Even when the cares of the world weigh on us, may we find joy in our connections with each other and in the pleasures that life holds. Let us take care of one another and ourselves in all the ways we can. Let us make this a safe and welcoming place for all. As we hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows, whether spoken or unspoken, let's take a moment to be quiet together. Please join now in singing Return Again.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul.
This reading is I Want to Belong to a Church by Virginia McGill. I want to belong to a church which is not content to be a coaster or a glider or a stand patter. I want my church to have a taste for the upgrade. I want my church to pull me a little, to push me when I lag behind or when obstacles are a little too great. But most of the time, I want my church to teach me to climb all by myself. I want my church, with the beauty of its service, the vitality of its teaching, and the inspiration of its example, to keep me dreaming dreams I can never forget, and show me stars I never saw before.
We know you know this song. Join in, bop around if you feel like. No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's your way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in, you burned your breakfast so fine, things are going great. Your mother warned me there'd be days like this, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. No one could ever know me, no one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all the mess with. Someone I'll always laugh with, even at my worst I'm best with you. Yeah. Have you always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year? But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
Church is a place where you get to practice what it means to be human. In the words of Unitarian Universalist theologian James Luther Adams, belonging is a fundamental human need. We human beings need a place to belong. We need people to belong to. According to American psychologist Abraham Maslow's well-known hierarchy of needs, the need to belong ranks right after needs like breathing and eating, and personal safety as the foundational prerequisites for such needs as achievement and creativity. We have a need, a fundamental human need, to be known and accepted for who we are. The Christian theologian Paul Tillich writes about human separation from the ground of being, our estrangement from something to which we really belong and with which we should be united. Tillich defines the theological term grace as the reunion of life with life, the reconciliation of the self with itself. And he describes the experience of grace as knowing that you are accepted. In these terms, grace is knowing that you are accepted for who you are, as you are. It is knowing that you belong. Tillich writes, in the light of this grace, we perceive the power of grace in our relation to others and to ourselves. We experience the grace of being able to look frankly into the eyes of another, the miraculous grace of reunion of life with life. We experience the grace of understanding each other's words. We understand not merely the literal meaning of the words, but also that which lies behind them, even when they are harsh or angry. For even then, there is a longing to break through the walls of separation. We experience the grace of being able to accept the life of another, for through grace we know that it belongs to the same ground to which we belong, and by which we have been accepted. I suggest that belonging to this religious community can be an experience of grace, an experience of being accepted and embraced for who we are as we are, even as we challenge each other and ourselves to be our best selves. Can members of this religious community be agents of the grace of acceptance and belonging? Belonging in this way involves what Unitarian Universalist minister Alice Blair Wesley calls the spirit of persuasion, which she describes as both free and freeing. Each of us, she says, is called to give utterance, to ask, say, explain, defend what is the truth we see. To be unforthcoming is to be disloyal. For how can we learn from one another without candor? Each member is also called to yield the floor with humble courtesy, to listen, be open to, and try again and again to imagine what others see. The spirit of persuasion is the spirit of a free religious people. It is holy to us. It holds all together insofar as we live by it. In the embrace of the free church, in the generous embrace of people who are centered in ever-changing and responsively creative ways, around a promise of fidelity together to search for and dare to live by truth. We human beings need a haven, as well as a fueling station and a launching pad from which to venture out into the world. When the Unitarian Universalist Association's Commission on Appraisal did a study several years ago on the meaning of belonging in Unitarian Universalist congregations, a focus group at a large and thriving congregation found several primary reasons why people stay with their congregation. To be connected to a worshiping community, to feel spiritually grounded, to have the opportunity to do social justice work in a structured way, for religious growth and learning, to bring their dreams to life, and to share both information and skills with others. Are those some of the reasons you are here? You can say yes out loud. Yes? To me, those sound like opportunities to practice what it means to be human. Belonging is a journey and a challenge, and entails mutual responsibility and accountability. Belonging offers the possibility of helping us to do more and be more than we could do and be alone. It has long been known that belonging is beneficial for physical as well as psychological health. According to a recent article published by the Greater Good Science Center at the University of California in Berkeley, belonging may also increase our creative self-efficacy, the feeling of being able to handle anything coming our way, increasing our resources for handling adversity. Perhaps this is at least partly the result of knowing that there are others who have our backs and will back us up. As Unitarian Universalist minister Mark Morrison Reed wrote, "The central task of religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed." How will you choose to belong to this religious community, to Birmingham Unitarian Church? You may have heard about or read about some of these possibilities, but I think they bear repeating. Will you help each other by participating in the Caring Network? Can you make and deliver a meal? Paula described that meal that might be brought to someone in need as a love casserole. That's it, a love casserole, which I thought was just a lovely name. Because it's not just about the food, it's about the love that that casserole represents. Can you make and deliver a meal? Provide transportation to church or a medical appointment? Provide refreshments or usher at a memorial service? You can register online or fill out a paper form if you can do one or many of these things. Will you participate in the pledge to end racism in ourselves and in our society? Registration is open now, and you can sign up at the table in Hodas Hall after the service. Is there an affinity group you would like to create based on theological or atheological leanings or life stage? Is there a discussion or interest group you would like to start, or an adult religious education class you would like to offer? Watch for opportunities or create your own. Would you like to join a small group of people who meet regularly to get to know themselves and each other more deeply? I hope we'll offer a taste of small groups with additional openings in January. These are just a few of the ways that you can help build belonging for yourselves and your religious community. If you're interested in any of these things or have other ideas and don't know where to go with them, please contact me and I'll help point you in the right direction. Words written by Unitarian minister James Vila Blake over 100 years ago are meaningful to many congregations. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. How will you help build belonging in this congregation? I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing "Building a New Way."
We are building
extinguish this flame but not what it means. We become beacons of truth, spreading its warmth to others, glowing bright with passion for life and love of justice.
May we live our lives fully and creatively so that we may be a blessing to ourselves, to each other, and to all those whose lives we touch. Please remain seated during the postlude for a moment of reflection.